And now comes out Taylor Swift and goes, shake it off, shake it off.
The Queen.
Would be fun.
Were you a Swiftie?
No.
Good thing you never were. Oh my goodness. I think you have to be a certain type of woman to be a Swiftie, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think her following is a little bit of a cult.
Yes.
Like they
Thank you.
idolize the fact that she writes incredible lyrics. And I mean, I'm not gonna say she doesn't. The woman has written great songs. And I do have some of them in my playlists, but she's not a genius.
Right.
And people just need to calm down with her. Like, she's not this crazy poet
Right.
that they're painting her to be.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boats leave tonight. How have
Look,
the
that's our guy.
He's so
I like
annoying.
this story. I know.
What?
I know. I
He's
just
so full
I
of
can't-
shit.
He was full of shit.
Gotta have to
Now
go
he
now.
has to
Yep.
Yeah.
This guy feels like he should be on Vikings, not on this show. And this girl,
He should be on both.
and this lady, I don't know where the hell they pulled her out of. She feels so out of place.
Work. I can't. I was no different to her brother's boys, Viserys and Daemon.
Oh.
Who is he talking about?
So basically, he's saying
Yeah.
that he is the son of the discarded Targaryen daughter that was
Who?
Daemon and Viserys's basically, what's the name? Aunt.
Who was that? Isn't that Rhaenys?
No, there's another one.
Oh, I didn't
That
know that. I
was-
didn't know that.
She was I'm gonna have to tell you about the story. I'm not fresh on.
Why is she discarded?
on
Was
lore,
she a bastard herself? Why did they kick her out?
No, she was crazy. She was literally crazy.
Oh, okay.
And she wanted to be, she was rebellious, but she was not into the whole Targaryen stuff
Okay.
of staying in power, blah blah blah. So I don't know, she did something in particular and she was discarded and she ended up in a brothel
What the
working as a sex worker.
How do you let that happen to a Targaryen, even if...
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm gonna need to look it up and tell you because it's a really interesting story.
Okay,
I think her
but...
name was Sarah,
So
something like that.
So what we know is that Ulf is full of shit, and this guy turns out to be the real bastard Targaryen.
Yeah.
I was ashamed of her. I could not keep our girl.
Oh, she
alive.
died? Oh, the girl died.
Yeah.
When did that happen? I don't remember that.
Well, they couldn't cure her and they couldn't get out of there and she was sick, so I figured she would die.
But when did she die? Oh, we never saw it, right?
I don't think we saw it
Okay.
physically, no. I don't remember it either.
We would never want again. I have to do something.
Yup, I'm a Viking. That's what you are, dude. You're a fucking Viking. Look at your face. So these are all the people. These are all the bastards going to Dragonstone. It's crazy.
Sorry,
All the bastards, calling the bastards. This
I'm
woman.
trying to understand what she's doing though.
What is she doing? Soul searching. Look at that. She looks like she's literally the Lady of the Lake.
This is incredible. This is an incredible shot. Alicent. She's like out there in the lake, like just floating and stuff, and it's a little weird. Like at the point that we're at with her, she's very much lost and everything. So I hope she doesn't die. Like I
No.
hope she's not out there to like die or something.
No, that's not the case. I don't believe so.
You know, I hope so.
She definitely not. Okay, then go fuck off.
That's not very good, you know.
Yeah. I just hear stubborn people getting in the way, and I say fuck off.
fair.
It feels like everybody, like old, feels like old people. It feels like everybody with their bullshit. It has to be this way because it's always been this way. Well, no, not always. I like this outfit. This is new, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is awesome. It's like you have to pass or you're gonna die, and only that you can't even cheat it. So it's great.
Can face a
I
dragon
love it.
and be
I love this
overwhelmed.
concept.
This is really cool. I know you don't want to hear about it, but this is really cool because it was also similar to what was in my in the dragon book that I was reading,
Oh,
even though it was very amateur concept.
uh huh.
But you had to have the dragon choose you
Right,
as a
right,
as a writer, and if they didn't, they would burn you like to a crisp. So
right.
there was this whole presentation, like you will see all the dragons that are available, but you are actually the one that they are evaluating, and if they
Right,
don't
right.
like you, they carbonize you.
I just,
And I think that's really cool.
yeah, no, I agree. I just think that the concept of dragon writing is very infantile. Like if it was me, I would come up with a different way
Yeah,
for
like
the
it could be
symbiosis.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the concept of
it
riding
could
a dragon
be.
like a horse to me is what's stupid. It's not the connection that you can have with a dragon or even being somehow connected to the dragon. Like, for example, I like more, what do they call the ravens in this, in Game of Thrones? The three-eyed raven?
The raven,
Is that what it's
the
called?
three-eyed raven. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
okay.
I like that concept more because that's more of a spiritual thing where you can transport yourself into the raven and be in the animal.
Ah, yeah,
That would be cooler.
okay,
So like if there was a
yes.
way you could transport yourself inside the dragon and be in the dragon while your body is elsewhere, that would be more my style. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
then you
In that
literally.
sense,
Hmm.
in that sense, the book I was reading was doing it better.
Okay. Okay.
It wasn't as good as you're saying, but
Right.
it was basically a connection. Like you could talk to the dragon, but only the person that bonded with the dragon could talk to the dragon.
Right. Okay.
And they were sentient beings, and they were capable of thinking. They had personalities and stuff.
Right. Right.
So I like that a lot more. I agree with you with the concept of it being like a horse. Like it's not just an instrument, and you have to respect it. And
Right.
I think
Right.
here, from what Rhaenyra is doing, it's showing how much she doesn't respect the dragons in that sense.
I don't know. Again, I think that what she's doing right now is being born of necessity, but I'm not totally against it because I guess just my rebellious nature, you know? I think that
Yeah, no,
if convention
I
says that,
know. Yeah,
if
I know that's
convention,
what you want.
right, if convention says that only pure blood Targaryens are allowed to ride a dragon, that's bullshit. And she should be
Well,
allowed to break with the tradition.
I mean, yes, but I think she's going about it the wrong way.
Why?
I think because she didn't even consult the people, the actual caretakers of the dragons.
Okay.
She didn't even consider them.
Mm-hmm.
She's just thinking about the fact that it's a war. She needs people, and whoever she can gather is fine.
Right.
Which I get
Okay.
it because it's it's a difficult situation. So of course. But you have to consider everybody in the equation. And let's face it, she's not been a very good ruler in that sense
Right.
this
Right.
far.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
She's overlooked a lot of things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for that reason, she overlooked one more thing, which is the caretakers of the dragons, which,
Uh-huh.
yes, they might be religious cultists that you know,
Mm-hmm.
adore these dragons to an unhealthy extent. Like, yes, but you also have to consider that they're the ones feeding the dragons, taking care of them, keeping them safe. Like, it's like saying fuck you to your
I get it.
army
Yeah, I get it.
because they don't have horses. You know what I mean? You're it's a big mistake in my opinion. And she brings in not only one Targaryen, that bastard, to try, which yes, she did with that guy that was very loosely related to Targaryens, but she's bringing now a whole bunch of people, like, again, without considering them whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know,
So did they quit, or are they just not wanting to take part in this part of it?
they quit.
Oh, did they? They're not gonna take care of the dragons? That seems also like a bit extreme.
No.
What?
Yeah, they're going away. They don't want to have anything to do with this anymore.
But they have to still. They still have an oath to take care of the dragons. That's unrelated to this, right?
Do they?
Yeah, because the dragons are like. In other words, if you were hired to take care of a baby, but then you're upset at me because I want to take that baby to some place and you disapprove of it, you're not going to just abandon taking care of the baby. You can get mad at me and you can say, like, I'm not going to have anything to do with where you're going to take the baby, but you're not going to abandon the baby, are you?
These are not babies, though.
But they are, in the sense, from their standpoint, they
Yes.
take care of the dragons. So
I
they're
know what you
abandoning,
mean.
right? So why would they abandon the dragons? That's not fair to the dragons. I understand if they
That's
want to
not
be
fair.
like, I don't want to deal with what you're doing. We don't approve of it. We're not going to take part in it. But to still at least take care of the dragons, because they're the ones that feed them. They're the ones that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I understand.
Yeah.
But they, again,
That seems extreme to me.
they don't care in that sense. It is extreme.
Well,
and
then-
they don't care in that sense.
Well, then they're
and
fucked
that's
up too.
Pretty
Then,
crazy.
like, I agree with your point about her not consulting them, but for them to just walk out on the dragons, it's a different thing to me than them saying, like, we don't agree with what you're doing and we're not going to approve of it. So if the dragon burns all these bastards, we told you so, but still do your part in taking care of the dragons, because that has nothing to do with her, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
But whatever, let's see.
I mean,
You may
yes, you
welcome-
can say that there's mistakes on both sides. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
from a ruler's perspective, the responsibility.
I agree she
is
should have
mostly on
consulted
her.
them. I agree. I get your point there, and I agree with
Mm-hmm.
that. And I probably would have done that. However, I also think that she's got to proceed with this plan. Because that's
No,
the one.
she does it.
you know,
She does.
That's the
totally,
one
yeah,
thing. That's the
yeah.
one thing she's, like you said, she hasn't been a good ruler, and she finally found something to move her forward, if that makes sense, to move forward on, because she doesn't know what's going on with
Yeah.
Daemon. He's not sending word to her. As far as she knows, she's on her own, and she's got no game plan. This is her only game plan. So
Prospect of change.
Yeah.
Even death, given the alternatives.